What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we're going to be doing a Indianapolis Colts 7-round mock draft. If you guys are new, would love for you guys to stick around, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know what to do. You guys know how to use YouTube at this point. If not, well, you can get acquainted pretty quickly. Anyhow, let's jump right into this. It's been awesome. We're past 7K. Let's get to 7,500. Goal, the really big stretch goal is 10K before the draft. We'll see if we can get there. Obviously, we'll be happy with any progress. So I appreciate you guys for joining me on this journey. And then if you guys have not already done so, join the Discord. I actually might be right after doing this, doing a nice tape study with you guys before I should probably be starting to study for my exam that's due today. Anyhow, let's get right into it. I want to look at the contracts first of the team, look at the current rosters, and then look at who is up for free agency. So the people who are here right now, we'll start off with this casual quarterback start, and Matt Ryan's still on the roster, Nick Foles, Sam Ehlinger. It's pretty obvious that it's time for an upgrade. Not very big fans of any of those guys, even though I thought Matt Ryan was kind of the key for you guys last year. I don't know if there's a way to cut Matt Ryan to be able to save some cap. I'm not sure about that, but he should not be starting this year. I'm not a fan of him at all, and you guys saw who is available for us at pick 4, and I think it's a pretty obvious pick 1. But Jonathan Taylor, the running back, Zach Moss, part of that trade with Nyheim Hines. I think that you have a pretty solid running back core. I'd probably want one more dude. When I'm looking at this, I'd probably want one more guy. I think that, Jake Funk's cool, but, I do want another power back just in case. I mean, I don't want Jonathan Taylor to carry it 55,000 times a game. Obviously, we'll be extending for that 5th-year contract, and then he's going to be an expensive cookie to keep if we want to do so. Anyhow, let's continue on. Wide receiver-wise, Michael Pittman Jr., represent Oaks Christian. He's a great player. It was awesome seeing him be drafted to this team. He's developing into a wide receiver 1 for sure if he's not there already. I loved Alec Pierce. He was my wide receiver 5 last year. He's going to be a really solid wide receiver 2 for you. Obviously, you guys see right down here, Paris Campbell is of note as a free agent, and if he is projected at $2.5 million, I would personally pay for it, but we don't project that here until we actually go through free agency, and then, shit starts getting real. So Mike Strawn, I think that's how you say it. He's a good player too, but I'm looking at this wide receiver depth, definitely something that we need to address because wide receiver and free agency is kind of cheeks. And if you guys have not already done so, feel free to follow me on Twitter. All the links are in the description below. But tight end wise, I think we're fine. I've seen some people try to take someone like Darnell Washington here. I'd rather just go with Jelani Woods and continue to see him develop. Pretty sure against my Steelers, he ended up whooping our ass. So glad to see that Jelani Woods has that potential. Maybe one more tight end for depth. But, I mean, hell, if you could somehow find a way to get Jalen Weidermeyer to actually start producing, that'd be awesome. Tackle-wise, Bernard Ryman, hopefully he can continue developing. I was not that high on him last year, and, definitely for a 3rd-round pick, it was phenomenal. But definitely, he's a good enough player. We'll see how that goes right there. Right tackle-wise, Braden Smith, I gotta love that. Great player. I think he transitioned from guard as well. He's well-deserving of that contract in my eyes. Just consistency at the offensive line position is very hard to come by anyway, but I think the talent speaks for itself. Offensive guard-wise, Quentin Nelson, obviously the beast, but the big issue is the other guard spot, and I never want Will Fries to touch a field. That's just me. So you guys will see me going like Osiris Torrance very often in mock drafts or going after a center and moving him to guard because I like Ryan Kelly. I don't have an issue with him at all. He's a good player. It is what it is. He's a high-paid center, but I think he's deservingly high-paid. Just a good, consistent leader of that offensive line. But depth may be something we could address in this draft as well. Looking at the defensive line and moving out, DeForest Buckner, obviously, I think he might have been a trade target, but I personally wouldn't deal with that. I love DeForest Buckner. I thought it was a great fit for this team, especially for just a 1st-round pick. Grover Stewart, another solid dude. I liked Eric Johnson last year. He was a Senior Bowl standout. But I am seeing a little bit of a lack of a depth here at the defensive tackle position for sure. Defensive end-wise, you got Kwity Paye, who I was a big supporter of, and Dio Odeingbo. who has just been kind of more injury riddled. So edge rusher still is in the picture to be addressed, but I don't know if we necessarily need to spend a high value pick on it. Linebacker wise, we have plenty of dudes like Shaq Leonard, obviously the big name on the block. He's a great leader of the team and one hell of a steal. I mean, I wasn't studying the draft when he came out, so I can't say whether I loved him or not coming out, but it's great to see that a D2 player can become a superstar for a team. Other guys of note, Cameron McGrone. I mean, I know that it just says from a practice squad, but he's somebody that could potentially rise up if he does stay on roster. He's a good athlete. He was a pretty damn solid player. I personally think he's fine. Jojo Doman, he's a slot corner / linebacker. I'm excited to see what happens with him because he, I think, tested out very well, but he had the best coverage grade out of all like linebackers there for PFF last year. So intriguing to see what would happen with him. But linebacker is actually looking really thin. And Zaire Franklin as well, not a bad player. I know Bobby Okereke, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name, is also up for a contract, so we'll check that out in just a second. Safety-wise, Nick Cross, I loved him. Julian Blackman, I'm a fan of Julian Blackman as well. Isaiah Rodgers, another good DB. I know that like their dominance is kind of like weaned off a little bit, but I'd honestly remain confident that guys can have bounce back or else even take it a step further and become elite level players. Defensive back, Kenny Moore, Stephon Gilmore, good players. I think Kenny Moore might be cut. I have been hearing some rumors about that or traded. But besides that, I am not a fan of this corner room at all. Definitely one of the positions I've been trying to address in my mock drafts and going to be one that I continue to do so. Looking at guys who are up, notable guys, Paris Campbell. Ashton Dulin is not bad either, but Paris Campbell should be brought back if that is his price tag of $2.5 million. Dennis Kelly's a good vet. If you can keep him for cheap, vet minimum, I'd do it in a heartbeat. You know, other guys, Bobby Okereke. What's his market value, actually? I would love to see his market value right here before we continue into the mock draft. At $2.3 million, I'd pay that instantly as well. Especially with the guys who we have behind him. I do everything I can to keep him right there. So Rodney McLeod, obviously just because of the name, not really because of his talent. Yannick, the big one. And that's probably where I was like, oh, I mean, like, look at the defensive ends that are up. Tyquan Lewis, Ben Benogu. I think Ben Benogu was a high pick as well from TCU. So you do have guys that you need to address. I think that's more than fine to say that I'm not going to pay the $15 million on Yannick. I might tag and trade him if I'm like playing the GM card. But yeah, we need to potentially address that because 4 defensive ends that are coming off, that's tough. However, let's get right into the mock draft. That's what y'all are here for. CJ Stroud is going to be the pick number 1. I don't think I need to discuss it very much. If he is there, that is going to be ideal. Do I do trades in this? No. Why? One, if I had trades that were offered to me like on the Draft Network, which I don't even think theirs is even up right now, which is just ridiculous. Absolute crap model that they're running with right now. Doesn't matter. This is more for the Colts, not really to trash other models. But other teams can't trade in the first place. I wish PFF allowed that. But 2, I just don't get offers because then it's like I can accept or decline it. Otherwise, it's going to be like a really finicky shenanigans where I can manipulate the board and do whatever the hell I want. But let's push on here. I think DB might be the best value here. Looking at the offensive lineman, I might be comfortable pushing it down the board and getting someone like a Lusagoon later on. I've been getting a Lusagoon very often, but like maybe Andrew Voorhees with another pick. I think that's the best move because I'm seeing some top tier defensive backs here. To be fair, though, we can wait and potentially get Keely Ringo. We have pick 79, and if we can wait and get someone like a Keely Ringo's talent, that might be worth it. So I'm actually going to go back on my word. I think the biggest position to address is that guard spot, then the DB, given the board, and given the fact I don't want to take a Lusagoon every single mock draft that I do. I'm going to go Luke Whippler here. Definitely a day 1 starter in my eyes. Very consistent. I've had him very high on my board. I'll scroll down so you guys get to see a little bit more, but Luke Whippler there at 32, above guys like John Michael Schmitz that I have at around 53. But number 79, who are the DBs left on the board? We did get kind of poached here. But that's okay. I love Clark Phillips. I think he'd be a great addition. I think Jalen Jones would be a fine addition as well. Jalen Jones not nearly as fast as I would want, but damn, y'all some assholes, PFF. The Patriots snagging a top DB before I could grab one. Let's take a quick peek at the other guys who are available. Again, linebacker, I've been saying, is a position that I would be looking at. I'd probably try to play like the luck game and see if we can get Noah Sewell. If not, D. Winters and Servassier Dennis would be good depth pieces later on. Oh, but Drew Sanders is here. And he is an outside linebacker. I said he could be a Mike. That's my opinion that he can transition there. But, oh, I haven't taken Drew. Like, this is just bullshit. I might want to take Drew Sanders just so I don't take him for other spots. This feels like it could happen, though, similar to how we saw, Leo Chanel last year fall. I think I might want to go this route just to change it up a little bit. I know I can get a defensive back like Julian Brents later on. Pretty sure his name's Julian. Let's make sure that I don't mispronounce his name. Julius. There we go. Had a weird feeling. So Julius Brents is somebody who I would rather target later on or get a DB in free agency because I've heard that it's a very good free agency for defensive backs. But again, we saw that. I mean, I can't really project free agency moves. I can tell you what I would do. But right now, linebacker is a huge need. And even with Bobby Okereke coming back, I think it's a big need. Of course, we could have gotten Noah Sewell, but Noah Sewell's exponentially lower on my board than my linebacker one and Drew Sanders. Anyhow, I think that, we've already addressed the offensive line. Would have been great if we could have gotten Andrew Voorhees here, of course. But I don't think any other offensive line position needs to be addressed. I might just go. DJ Turner's a good player. I want to show him a little bit more love as well. Starling Thomas apparently clocked in at 24 miles per hour, which that's a ridiculous top speed. Most people in the NFL can't reach 20 to 21. Like, it's a big deal if you reach 19 miles per hour. So definitely want to keep that open. Defensive interior wise, I want to go after Jared Clark if I can, or Byron Young later on. Not really a big need for me. Running back, I don't want to take Tyjae Spears every single time. I could always get somebody later down the board. If I want to get someone who's powerful, Mohamed Ibrahim. Mo Ibrahim's a beast. I really like Mo Ibrahim. So we're going to stick to that. Wide receivers, though, I do want to see if we can get somebody here. Tyler Scott would be fun to pair up with Alec Pierce. I'm pretty sure he was there last year as well. We'll see if they even allowed this in. They don't. I want to make sure that he was there last year. But Tyler Scott might be a really fun one to add in. Man, that seems really fun. I like that idea. And I've never taken Tyler Scott. A lot of you guys are big fans of him. There's no All-22 out on him right now, unfortunately, even though I am dying to watch some Tyler Scott tape. I can't make an official opinion of him just yet. However, I do think it's very likely that you can pair him up there with Alec Pierce and have a nice dynamic receiving core. At this spot, if DJ Turner's here, I think I'm going to take him. I want to make sure, DJ Turner's just so worth it. Yeah, we got Tyler Scott there. Just making sure I didn't do something stupid and draft a corner earlier. I wouldn't say it's stupid, but DJ Turner's so good. Such a good player. Very underrated. Nobody's really talking about him. Where is he on my rankings? Because I have him up high. I have him at 57. You guys can see it right there. So I do like him a lot. I'll scroll down a little bit more so you guys get to see a little bit more to my board. But at this pick, who is here? Dontavian Wicks, Julius Brent. I said Julius Brents that I would go after earlier, but I have already gone after him in another mock. So I'm happy to say that DJ Turner's going to be my DB for this one. Running back does feel like something I'd like to do. You can get someone like Evan Hull later on, but I think this is a really good running back free agency as well. Might want to opt out for that in the meantime. Other guys, oh man, did they take my man? What the hell? Yo, not cool. Who stole my favorite defensive interior player? What douchebags. I don't even know where he went, but yeah, my favorite defensive interior guy, unless I'm just tripping, is he's gone. Damn. So rest in peace to that idea. Edge rusher's still on my board. I would love to go after someone like Dylan Horton here as a backup. I would love that. Yaya Diaby, but I'm going to go after a player who I have in my top 100, MJ Anderson. Show him a little bit of love. Based on how you saw, why am I tripping up on people's names? Will McDonald IV at the Senior Bowl. I think it's safe to say that the system that they are running there at Iowa State does not show the talent of those edge rushers. And MJ is he's a beast. He's a beast. So the fact that he's still here, kind of ridiculous in my eyes. However, I am going to want to grab some form of offensive lineman here at the end. Wanya Morris would be a nice depth piece if you can't bring back someone like Dennis Daly. Looking at other players here, I mean, Tyon Evans wouldn't be a bad running back to scoop up because, I mean, now, unfortunately, somebody took Mo Ibrahim. I'm going to take Ty Evans here. A really good player from Tennessee. He ended up transferring to Louisville, I think, to be closer to his family. So, I mean, I can't really disrespect that. Luke Whippler, D- can kiss my ass cheeks. But, you know, looking at the board, we ended up getting a solid quarterback. We ended up addressing the offensive line with a starter as well as a very top-tier backup. Got some nice pieces where our big holes are as well. So, I feel like the value fit 100%. The fact that MJ Anderson is graded an F is absolute bullshit, but, you know, it's for us to take the W on. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.